Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm JP and this is the Working Man's Garden. So, today we're going to check on these guys. These are some Meyer lemon cuttings that I stuck about 3 weeks ago. I checked on one of them maybe a week and a half ago just to see if there was any callousing. There was plenty of callus, so I'm thinking they may have already started rooting just a little bit. So I'm gonna check on them again. Now, as you can see, these are in a plastic bag. I've cut some little vents right here. They've been on a heating mat, and I've kept this sand relatively damp. The bag is just to maintain some humidity. That way the leaves don't dry out, the tissue doesn't dry out before some callousing takes place, and you get a better chance of some rooting. I'm gonna check on them again. Now I lost my Meyer cutting. Well, it had rooted probably, I think I bought that tree in 2017, and it did well for 3 or 4 years, and I didn't get it in this past winter. So I will tell you that the rooted tree definitely outperformed the parent tree that I took that material off of. Now, typically, once you have some roots, you'll start to see some little growth. But, well, I tell you, it looks like there might be, we'll see. Are basically sort of semi-hardwood cuttings. I dipped them in a 0.1% IBA. This is just your standard, what you get at the big box store. Nothing too special here. But if you were gonna do a hardwood cutting or a semi-hardwood cutting, you would probably want to go with a stronger endobutyric acid concentrate. This is 0.1%, they have 0.3% and 0.8%. Although those are typically, those are greenhouse strengths, the 2 and 3. Well, they're marketed as Hormodin. 1 is just the 0.1%, 2 is 0.3%, and 3 is 0.8%. So the harder the wood cutting, the higher the concentration you would want to use. You wouldn't want to use a 0.8% on soft tissue cuttings. Might have a little something. These cuttings were quite thin. There we go. There we go. All right. So we have roots. Okay. Without any new growth, there is already roots. So we're gonna set that off to the side, and we'll pot that up here in just a second. But we're gonna check these others as well. I kind of hope I wasn't too successful here because I don't have space to put. I stuck 8 cuttings, and I'm 1 for 2 already. So we'll see. I'm actually surprised, to be honest, because these are very, very thin cuttings. I actually took these kind of hastily. Okay. Nothing there. Although it does look as if there's some callus. Let's see if you guys can see that. Oh, that's a nice elko. Let's see if maybe I can get that to. There we go. So it's calloused, it's just not rooted. So I'll probably, if I've already got one, I really don't need any more, so I probably won't re-stick these. But I want to see if any of the others have propagated. Okay, let's step that off. Alright, not seeing anything there, although it is callous. I don't know, I may go ahead and restick these, we'll see. Well, yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. I could give them away, but I literally have to give them to my neighbors because you cannot legally move citrus between from one zip code to another without proper licensing. And I know there's going to be somebody out there that says, hey, you know, I can do whatever I want, it's just a plant. You know, those type of mentalities are what end us up with GMOs. You know, those laws are put into place for a reason, and this particular reason is to sort of mitigate the spread of HLB, which is a very, I mean, it's 100% fatal to citrus trees. Now, we don't typically have the vector here in North Texas, but in South Texas it's definitely a problem. I've actually seen a pest that looked very similar to the Asian citrusillid that I actually saw on the parent tree that these came off of. I took that specimen, or I took a picture of that specimen to my local agricultural extension agent, as well as sent it off to a few entomologists at A&M via email, and I got mixed answers. Some, you know, said that it was Asian citrusillid, and some said that it wasn't. So, you know, that's kind of one of those things. I mean, it looked almost identical. The pattern was slightly different. I wish I still had the picture. I put it on the screen, but it's, unfortunately, I think it's just in my college email account. So there's another one. So yep, that guy's rooted as well. Okay, so what's that, 2 for 5, and there's another one. So you guys can see that maybe. So I mean, having stuck 8, I now have 4 new trees. These are gonna get potted up right now. I'll probably do that off camera. It's not anything special. I now have 4 new trees that will be, they are already fruiting age. I moved my citrus tree off my back deck under a shade cloth, a little hoop tunnel that I made, and put some shade cloth over. And it turned out the tree was a little bit too tall, so I had to cut some of the tissue off. And I went ahead and just stuck it because, well, I can't cut off material from my tree without sticking material. So real quick, let's just talk about how I did this, and maybe you guys, if you have some really expensive trees that you want to propagate, and kind of get your extra money's worth. So that, you know, that's what I did. I think I paid like $60 for the mother tree when I brought this tree home, you know, several years ago. In transport, I broke a little branch off by mistake and decided I was gonna try, and yeah, so it worked really, really well the first time, although I did it a little bit different. Whereas the first time I brought, I stuck the cutting, I cut down through the cambium layer, or to the cambium layer, which is the layer just beneath the bark or the outer tissue. And this time all I did, like the first time I cut through in a circle all the way around the stem, and then peeled the entire cambium layer off and stuck it like that. That worked. This time, all I did was scrape it a little bit with a grafting knife, stuck it in the 1% IBA or 0.1%, and yeah, that 50% success rate. That's not bad at all. Also, you can see I cut the leaves in half. That's just to reduce transpiration. Also, having the bags over the cuttings themselves increased humidity, keeps the plant from transpiring as much, keeps it turgid longer. Basically, all you're doing is you're giving this IBA a chance to work, right? So this IBA is simply to induce callousing. So once you scrape that green tissue and you open that cambium layer, if not for the IBA, it's probably gonna rot. But once you dip this IBA, it's going to eventually callus over. I did let these dry out. Like the first few days, I kept it well watered, but then I let it dry out for a period of a couple of days, just so that callus could happen. And now I can get these guys in some soil. Maybe rent another house or something, because I don't know what I'm gonna do with all these cuttings. I really don't need to be trying to save these, but I'm going to, because that's kind of who I am. It's a personality defect or something, I don't know. So if you enjoyed the video, if you learned something, like and subscribe, give me a thumbs up, I appreciate it. I've got lots of stuff going on indoors, my seedlings for fall tomatoes. I've got my tomatoes back there in the bag. Did not do anything this year. The heat got here entirely too quickly. So those were a wash. My eggplants finally set one fruit, so there's that. I've got a couple of melons back there that are growing and hopefully will be ripening pretty soon. But I'll bring you guys along for that, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to the fall. These 100-degree days with no rain are absolutely killing me. I am home with COVID, so I get to take one more test tomorrow to see if I can go back to work, and if I'm positive, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I've also got some artichokes here germinating that yeah, we'll be talking about those in the next few weeks. I've got like 32 of them, 3 different varieties of artichokes, and then 1 variety of cardoon. Many of those will be gifts to friends and family, because I do not have a place to put 32 artichokes and cardoon. So never grown them before, but really gonna give it a go this season. So anyway, like and subscribe, I appreciate it. Y'all take care. Peace.